Hey guys, welcome out to the shop today. We got our first small engine in the shop today for 2021. It is a Craftsman push mower, found it out on the side of the road. It looks like it is self-propelled as well, which is nice. Tires are a little bit worn out, like anything that you pretty much see for self-propelled. I don't even know how these really get wore out, but they do. And the pull string is already pulled all the way out. So we got to look into figuring out what is going on with this one, why the pull string's not going back in. But it's a fairly decent mower. The deck has no rough spots in it that I have found yet. Adjustable wheels, which is nice. Sometimes you get these and they aren't adjustable or they're broken. This is a different kind of engine than what I'm used to working on because it's not Breeze and Stratton, so we'll have to mess with it a little bit. It feels like the primer maybe going out a little bit. I don't know, it's starting to work a little bit loose. It was pretty tight right there. But everything is there. Just found it up the road a little bit. So, and it's got a spot for the bagger if we choose to put one on. But if we get this one running, we're going to be replacing this one for the one that I currently am using, which is all busted and beat up and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and pull this top off right here and try to see why this pull string is not going back in. And then we'll go ahead and put some fuel in there. It has a little bit of oil. The type of oil is SAE 30 that you need, and it's got very little in there, so we may go ahead and add some just to get it going and then change it out after it runs a little bit. I didn't even check to see if it has, yeah, it's got a blade. I didn't even check that. So let's go ahead and pull that top off. So the one bolt that I need cleaned out right now, I believe, has water in it. Now it's all cleared out. There's a 1/4 inch nut driver. I've started using nut drivers a lot more. Sometimes they're just quicker to deal with. That pops out of there and there. And we got a little bit of a nest thing going on right here. So why is this not going back in? I'm assuming the spring may just be going bad. It's starting to go in now. May need to give the spring a little bit of lubrication. And they're free, they're fun to play with, they don't cost any extra money besides the parts. Oh, is it gonna come out? There it is. So put that, where did the other one go? Right there. Let's see if we can get it rotating around a little bit better. A little bit of, I wonder if there's any spring part in there. Alright, let's go ahead and put it back together real quick. Let's pull out that area first. Now we should be able to put that back together. We'll see what kind of pulling reaction we get now. So we can put this one back on with the nut driver, make it go quicker. Alright, so we got the cover put back on, and we're going to check for a spark real quick. It looks like we got sparks, that's good. We can hook the cable back up. And I think we should put some fuel in it and see if it will fire over. So I don't know exactly how this engine works with any kind of fuel lines. Looks like there's one right here. So I'm kind of being cautious about how much fuel I'm putting in, just making sure that I don't see any leaks right away. So we can go ahead and look underneath. I don't see anything leaking or dripping, which is good. That air filter's dirty, I can tell you that. I don't see any extra stuff dripping down, so let's go ahead and give it a few priming pumps and see what happens. I always give it a few more priming pumps on engines that have not ran in a long time. Don't have much room to do this, but let's see what we can get out of it. Oh, that string is not gonna like it. We're gonna end up having, oh, there we go. I don't like the way that sounds though. It sounds like something's knocking in there. There we go. That is broken loose. Let's see if the plug is even wet. No, it's not wet. Alright, I'm going to pull the plug off and make sure that it looks like the piston's okay going up and down, and see what else everything looks like from the front side. Yeah, it's got plenty of fuel in there. Should fire over if it was going to, and it didn't even act like it wanted to choke over at all. Alright guys, so the one thing that has me kind of concerned with that noise, and also finding out that there wasn't very much oil in it, I wiped off the dipstick and I didn't even read anything on the dipstick, but went ahead now and added some oil into it, and now we are reading to where it should be. So we're gonna go ahead and keep pulling on it a little bit, get some oil moving around, but I think something has been broken in the engine. I guess it went low on oil, and eventually it didn't seize up, but it sounds like it's got a knock to it. So it definitely sounds like it has an odd knock to it, which is a little bit more work, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and start tearing this bad boy apart and seeing what's the deal. See if we can figure out what is knocking. Probably take that front cover off and just look inside. Okay, so here you can see that I have the cover off, and we are here at the main cover that we got to take it off. One thing that you could do with this right quick, if you had the tools, is you could do a compression test on this, because something is definitely sounding like it is knocking in there. You can see if something's just not staying closed. You could do a leak down test to see if a valve is staying open, different things like that. But this is going to be much quicker and simpler, and my compression tester, it does not work very well. And plus that knock that we hear is kind of concerning, so I don't want to keep on running it if something can be fixed before we break something. So I'm going to go ahead and undo these bolts around the head, and we'll take this off, and we'll just give it a once over look and see what we're dealing with. Try not to ruin the gasket that's on there. I don't have any on me right now. Look, it just wants to fall right off. Ooh, there's a lot of oil right there. It's a lot of stuff crusted up onto the head right there. Oh, guys, this thing's not gonna run at all. I found out why it has no oil. Let me see if you guys can see this. So this is gonna be a parts only lawnmower, and I just discovered why. So if you guys can see right there, look, I went to rotate it. Look at that. I was gonna see if the piston was gonna move. That's not gonna move at all. Man, first mower, and the block is blown. Isn't that crazy? That's for your piston right there. Well, guys, it looks like this Craftsman has definitely taken its own little turn for the worst. It definitely has a hole in the side of the block, and there's no getting around that part. I have a spare motor, but it's not the same as this one. But I wonder if I can actually mount it up on here and just kind of switch it over, because I'd like to still get the deck's in really good condition. Wheels are okay condition. But I do have another deck. I don't know if the motor will fit though. Well, I started putting this motor back together, and it's got 3 mounting points. One right here, one right here, and one right here. And unfortunately, whenever I went to go take it off of the other mower, and the mower was so damaged up, this one came out, this one broke, and so did this one. So this one went in just fine, and all the holes line up. So I may take some time on another day and try to weld on a nut onto the top of these and try to get them off, but I just don't have the time to do that these days, and don't want to really waste my time doing that, and it's still not doing anything. So sadly, man, I thought that I was gonna get a good job out of this one by using this motor right here, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to. This one's probably just a parts one as well. See, that shaft is really rusted out anyway, but it does have some decent parts on there that I can still use, but if I ever get bored, I may weld on a nut onto these and try to get them off. Just isn't going to happen today. Well, I started putting this motor back together, and it's got 3 mounting points. One right here, one right here, and one right here. And unfortunately, whenever I went to go take it off of the other mower, and the mower was so damaged up, this one came out, this one broke, and so did this one. So this one went in just fine, and all the holes line up. So I may take some time on another day and try to weld on a nut onto the top of these and try to get them off, but I just don't have the time to do that these days, and don't want to really waste my time doing that, and it's still not doing anything. So sadly, man, I thought that I was gonna get a good job out of this one by using this motor right here, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to. This one's probably just a parts one as well. See, that shaft is really rusted out anyway, but it does have some decent parts on there that I can still use, but if I ever get bored, I may weld on a nut onto these and try to get them off. Just isn't going to happen today. Thanks though for hanging out with me today in the shop. I just wanted to get my hands dirty again with some small engines, and definitely had that happen. That motor was really nasty from where all the oil was leaking out of it and stuff like that. But it's pretty disappointed this thing didn't get to run. I really would have liked to get a new mower in and replace that other one, but guys, we got plenty of small engine stuff coming up. This is a brand new year. We got all sorts of stuff coming in, and it's not even spring yet, and we're going to be seeing some stuff. I'm learning how to sharpen chainsaws and stuff like that, so once I get that dialed in, probably show you guys how to do something like that. I appreciate you guys watching though and hanging out. As always, if you guys are new, welcome to the channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you get all sorts of notifications whenever I post videos. And if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. This engine sucks that it was broken, but that is what it is. That's why somebody was throwing it out. But we got some parts now. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.